here are your hosts, Sherry Brown and Tom Lucas.
Good morning. Welcome to the On-Air Open House. We're all together again. Bill Macklem is here. Hey, Bill.
Absolutely. What a gorgeous day.
Isn't it lovely if you were talking? Sherry, nice to see you. You were doing a little hydroplaning coming in today?
I was, yes. My car was all over the road, but I'm here.
I'm glad you both made it. So we're broadcasting from Vancouver, the second most expensive city in the world to buy a new home.
Absolutely. But you know what? It doesn't snow.
Well, no, not usually.
Rarely.
Rarely snows. Let's put it that way.
I can remember years ago it used to snow, but since I became a man, it doesn't snow anymore.
I'm going to let that one go.
That's a good thing. So you and I are going to talk a little bit about the new mortgage rates in just a minute, because Bill has a very good take on this.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. 1 minute after 10. It's Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy CL 650. And Billy Mack will have your weekly mortgage rate update in just a few minutes, right?
Yes, and Bill will also be answering the mortgage question of the week.
I will also be talking about our series on money for seniors.
Mm-hmm. That's a very important thing.
You know what? Well, seniors are, no longer seniors.
What are they?
Well, like 55. That's not really
I see.
being a senior.
They're
it's like
boomers.
we're just getting discounts at restaurants.
All you got to do is prove you're 55.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know how many people are 55? About 3/4 of the population in
You
Canada.
think?
Yeah,
You think?
exactly.
Well,
So
it's good news for them.
There's always a deal.
All right. Now, our Radio Real Estate home handy guy, Finn Jensen, says January is beginning with a big bang.
And we'll hear from Dan Sander and Katrina May. Off,
Is that Bill, is that you?
I don't know what's happening. Bill's doing something.
Bill is coming into the 1980s. He has, what is that?
He's got an iPad.
An iPad, and he
And it started talking to me. I didn't know
forgot
what
to
to
turn
do.
it off. What are you listening to, Bill?
Oh, just on a show here. Sorry.
It'd certainly be nice to focus on this show, the show that you're on, Bill.
Well, I will tell you that we'll hear from Dan Sander and Katrina May of Hollyburn Properties. They'll be talking about housing trends in Vancouver. Plus, we'll hear about a great rental opportunity at the Nora Lean in the South Granville area.
And this morning, Patricia LaPena of Legal Shield will chat about wills and estate planning. And Mark over at EA Renovations will be talking to us about how to avoid contractor horror stories.
And Bill's mortgage question of the week is coming up. And if you have a question for Bill, go to our website, radiorealestateshow.ca. Bill will answer your question on next weekend's show.
I'm thinking we should offer a prize for maybe the most bizarre mortgage question.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
You're with us now?
I am.
Okay.
I've actually got my my iPad working.
Uh-huh.
I think.
Uh-huh.
I was just going to find some specific things to talk about later in the show, and I thought I would just turn this thing on. All of a sudden, it started talking to me.
Maybe if one of our listeners has a 4-year-old grandchild, we could get the grandchild to come down here and help you with that, Bill.
That would probably be a good idea.
I'm thinking so. Andrea Jock of Keller Williams Elite Realty is on the show this morning. She will talk to us about the Tri-Cities and what's going on in real estate out there.
And Mark Perry, our radio real estate voice of the Valley, will be reporting from the Chilliwack Home Outdoor and Leisure Show at this weekend's on this weekend at Heritage Park.
You know he will. It's 4 minutes after 10, 10:04. It's Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy, CL 650. Time now for our weekly mortgage rate update with Bill Macklem, who just happens to be president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Bill?
Good morning.
Yes. You just got here?
I'll make sure I don't touch anything.
Yeah, please.
I'll put it on mute as well, just in case I inadvertently touch something. So we're talking about interest rates this morning.
We were?
Yes, we
Okay.
are. So we all heard about the great news that the Bank of Canada has lowered their prime rate.
I heard that, yeah.
So for most people who don't understand how this whole thing works, is that the Bank of Canada uses the prime rate to control inflation in our country. Well, obviously, with what's going on with the oil prices and everything else that's going on in this country, we don't really have any inflation. Matter of fact, Mr. Polatz, who is the head of the Bank of Canada, who realizes that if we don't have any export market, we might get ourselves into another situation, not inflation, not deflation, but a thing called stagflation, and realizes that to avoid this, we have to make sure that we stay ahead of the curve. So he surprisingly, but we have talked about over the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks about the possibility of the rate coming down as opposed to everybody saying, oh, the rates are moving up. And he came out with this surprise move on Tuesday, I believe it was, dropping the prime rate by a quarter point. Now, just for those people who have just dialed in and haven't had a mortgage for a while or have never had a mortgage, this is not the lowest rate that the Bank of Canada has ever had. Now, 2008, Bank of Canada and the American government both lowered their prime rates. America's went to a 0.
Wow.
And they're still there. And Canada was at 0.25. And then they raised it to 1. And so what happened is that then the banks would then put their 2 points on, because that's how they make their profit. And so there would be a 3% prime rate less your discount. So what's happened today, or on Tuesday, was that prime rate that the Bank of Canada is offering had gone from 1 to 0.75. Add on the 2 that the banks normally make their profit on, should be 2.75. Apparently that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Apparently not. Apparently the banks, because they're so poor, they have to keep that money to keep the profit going. So here we are talking about a government of Canada supposed to be looking after the people of Canada to continue to make sure that our economy grows, and they don't have the courtesy to do what they're supposed to do by their licensing to drop the prime. So they're staying at 3 at this particular moment, and there's some rumors that they will not even drop it. And they should be, because it's automatic. The prime rate is the Bank of Canada prime plus 2. That's always been the case. And in this case, the government of Canada is not enforcing it. Matter of fact, the government of Canada says they're not going to force the government or force the banks into discounting their interest rates. So here the people are supposed to be looking after us to get us a better interest rate. These are the same guys that allow the banks to have these credit cards. They're charging us anywhere from 12 to 29%. So you're saying to yourself, okay, so this is our government that's looking after us. So they're gonna shaft us on the rate on the mortgages, and also allow banks to continue to make extreme profits on their credit cards. And how are we supposed to live our life on a day-to-day basis with all this stuff going on?
Mr. Macklem's comments are not necessarily those of this radio station, Tom Lucas Productions, and our sponsors. Thanks, Bill. Bill will answer the mortgage question of the week. Oh, geez, in just a few minutes. And we'll also hear from Andrea Jock of Keller Williams Elite Realty. She's going to talk to us about what's going on out there in the Tri-Cities. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house. It's the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy, CIL 650.
Hi, it's Mark with EA Renovations Limited. I can turn your outdated house into something you'll be proud to call home. Whether you're looking for a new kitchen, bathroom, addition, or even a new custom home, look no further than EA Renovations. Let us create the home you deserve. Call 604-825-0789 today or visit earenos.com to arrange your free in-home estimate.
Tired of chasing that small space you can barely afford? Stop saving for a down payment. Stop paying those high property tax and strata fees. Rent with Hollyburn with nothing down. Large suites, large balconies, 24-hour professional service and maintenance. Studios from 900 and one bedrooms from 1050. Enjoy the lifestyle you deserve today with 50 communities to choose from in Vancouver's West Side, West End, and North Shore neighborhoods. Save money and enjoy the Vancouver lifestyle. Learn more at hollyburn.com.
Hi, it's Bill Macklem. In these busy and hectic times with family and business responsibilities, it is difficult to find the time to sit down with your mortgage broker and discuss all your mortgage options. I'm available to meet with you at your place of work, your home, our office, or at a place convenient for you. Please give me a call at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663.
CIL 650.
Thank you for joining us. It's the Radio Real Estate Show, live on Smooth and Easy, CIL 650. After the show, if you want to go back and listen to Bill's rant again, just go to our website, right?
Yes, RadioRealEstateJan24th2015.ca, and you'll be able to download the iPod, and you can listen to Bill while you're running or while you're baking or cooking.
Paying your bills.
All right, calm down, Bill. So, Sherry, you have a question for Bill from one of our listeners.
I do. I'm almost afraid to ask Bill this, but our question of the week comes from Gloria Saxhold of East Vancouver. Gloria would like to know, Bill, if her son could take over her mortgage.
Oh, that's an interesting question, Sherry. Thanks so much, Gloria, for sending that in. Your son to take over your mortgage. Well, most Canadian mortgages, matter of fact, all Canadian mortgages are actually assumable. But they're all assumable with qualifications. It depends on what kind of mortgage that you have. You could have what they call a collateral mortgage. That's not assumable. You have to qualify on its own. You could have a step mortgage like one of the banks have. That's not assumable. So what happens is that you could actually assume the mortgage, but you actually have to qualify it. And that's really good for you, the seller of the property, or you, the ones that wants to get rid of the mortgage. Because what happens then is the bank then clarifies that you qualify for the mortgage, the person that's taking the mortgage, and therefore the person that's selling the mortgage, so to speak, is no longer liable for any deficiency. So if you don't make those payments after you assume the mortgage, they can come back after the mom, in this case Gloria, to make the payments. Because it's not her mortgage. Her son qualified for it. He's on his own. And that's really good. In BC, all mortgages are like that. So you can't assume somebody's mortgage without qualification.
Okay, thank you, Bill. And you can always get expert mortgage information online by visiting billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, mac.com, or call Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
And right now on the Radio Real Estate Show, it's time for Andrea Jock of Keller Williams Elite Realty. Andrea joins us on the telephone line this morning. She's out there in the Tri-Cities. Andrea, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Hi, Sherry.
Unbelievable. It's almost the end of January, and things are starting to pick up. Interest rates are changing. Do you think that'll be affecting people out in the Tri-Cities area when they're looking for new homes?
Absolutely. It's been a great week for sellers in the Tri-Cities. Inventory is still very low, and we have lots of buyers out looking, and especially because of the low interest rates, are ready to make moves. So if you're thinking of selling, now is a great time to get ahead of the spring market rush. Today I'm featuring a great end-unit, 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 1,600-square-foot townhome in a quaint complex located at number 82039 Clark Street in Port Moody, featuring crown molding, laminate flooring, cove ceilings, and a cozy fireplace. The bright kitchen with corner windows highlights the beautiful granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and large island. This great home is centrally located, offering one of the best commuting locations in Port Moody and an easy walk to schools, parks, and the West Coast Express. Come by and check out the open house this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. Save the date, Monday, March 2nd. The popular Eagle Ridge Hospital Foundation's Eat Your Heart Out is back. This is your opportunity to taste the Tri-Cities by trolley, one night, 6 restaurants, and one great cause. Buy your ticket today at the erfh.ca. This is Andrea Jock for Radio Real Estate.
Whether you're buying or selling in the Tri-Cities, call Andrea Jacques at 604-783-3124. That's 604-783-3124, or visit pgmre.com.
Thank you, Sherry. Coming up, we'll chat with the gentleman that knows all about the CHIP Home Income Plan. That's the CHIP Home Income Plan. The gentleman's name is Colin Johnston. He's the Regional Vice President for Home Equity Bank for Western Canada. And we'll talk with Patricia LaPena of Legal Services, Legal Shield. And she's going to talk to us about wills and estate planning this morning.
This is Sherry Brown of RE/MAX Performance Realty with mortgage expert Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages, our producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on Vancouver's on-air open house on Smooth and Easy CIL 650.
Hi, I'm Colin Johnston, VP at Home Equity Bank. As the provider of the CHIP Home Income Plan, we are the leading provider of reverse mortgages in Canada. Access some of the equity in your home without affecting your children's inheritance. 94% of Canadians will be willing to give up a portion of their inheritance to maintain or improve their parents' lifestyle. If you could use some extra tax-free money to make the most of your retirement, it's worth talking to your children to see if they feel the same way. For more information about the CHIP Home Income Plan from Home Equity Bank, call 604-484-6021, chip.ca.
If you've recently purchased or you're thinking of purchasing a house that is in dire need of some upgrades, then look no further. Hi, it's Mark from EA Renovations Limited. Fully licensed and insured, we'll turn your new house into a home you will be proud of. We do what it takes to ensure you're completely satisfied and make your renovation as painless as possible along the way. Call 604-825-0789 today or visit earenos.com to arrange your free in-home estimate.
Tired of chasing that small space you can barely afford? Stop saving for a down payment. Stop paying those high property tax and strata fees. Rent with Holyburn with nothing down. Large suites, large balconies, 24-hour professional service and maintenance. Studios from 900 and one bedrooms from 1050. Enjoy the lifestyle you deserve today with 50 communities to choose from in Vancouver's West Side, West End, and North Shore neighborhoods. Save money and enjoy the Vancouver lifestyle. Learn more at hollyburn.com.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Over the past 25 years, I have found most home purchasers do not use a mortgage broker. We are a no-charge professional who have assisted over 5,000 home buyers finance their home. The exciting part is these same home buyers come back to us for refinancing, buying their next property, or lowering their current payments. Call us at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663 for more information.
Vancouver weather.
Did you bring the umbrella in, Bill?
Umbrella?
Did you
I
bring...
brought 2 boats.
Did you? Oh, you brought the Ark?
I did. Jeez.
Well, it's going to rain for maybe 40 days and 40 nights. There's another story there. We'll get into.
Feels like it already has.
I think it has. It's going to be wet today. Our expected high about 11 degrees.
And tomorrow it's looking a lot better than it is today, with a 30% chance of drizzle in the morning and fog patches dissipating in the morning. And on Monday, you're looking at cloudy with a 40% chance of showers and a high of 9.
And it's not going to get much better. We've reached the high already. It's 11 degrees on the Radio Real Estate Show.
Radio Real Estate Weather is presented by Legal Shield. Have you ever tried to return a defective product and was told no? Have you been treated unfairly? Customer service a thing of the past? Know your rights. For more information about Legal Shield, visit 247legal.net.
CIL 650.
Chip, chipping away, chipping at your matching the blood.
Chip. You like that?
Chipping away.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. I stayed up all night for that one. I'm telling you.
I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that you sang that one before.
No, chip, you're chipping away. And I figured, what better music to play than to play that song and have Colin Johnston on the show for a little chat? What do you think?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Colin, you there? Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Last time I talked to you a couple days ago, where were you, Edmonton?
I was in Edmonton.
Gee, you get around.
A little bit, you bet.
That's what happens when you're the regional vice president for Western Canada. I guess you got to go where you got to go.
I do, and I came back to glorious weather yesterday.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it with you.
You're welcome.
Listen, we haven't talked to you, I guess, since the summer, so let's get caught up again. Tell the folks that are just listening to the show for the very first time about Home Equity Bank and about the CHIP program.
Well, Home Equity Bank is a program designed for homeowners 55 years old or older who own their homes, who want to remain there. So what we do is we allow them to access a small, sensible amount of their home equity, and for whatever they want to do. A lot of people invest it. A lot of people clear off debt, but they just want to remain in their homes and retire on their terms. We've been around for 28 years, started in North Vancouver, and we're a Canadian-only firm.
Well, that's a really great program, Colin. Bill here.
Morning, Bill.
Good morning. So one of the things that we were talking about earlier this week, you and I were talking about the fact that when a person gets to a certain age, whether it's 55, 60, 65, 70, wants to stay in their own home, you're right. They want to pay off all their debts and be secure where they're going to be. One of the problems we have with our aging population is that a lot of people have great wealth in their homes, but not a lot of income.
Correct. In the Lower Mainland, a lot of people don't realize it. With what they paid for their homes years ago, a bunch of people in Vancouver have won the lottery. They just don't realize it. Absolutely.
So when you and I were talking, we thought, well, let's set up a program. Let's do something really unique. Let's take off all the debt. So get rid of the debt. Some people, because of this drop in interest rates, they're going to get hit fairly hard with some of their investment incomes because they're going to get down into a lower interest rate. So there's a bit of a challenge there. So you and I were saying that why don't we take some money out of the house, 100, 200, 300,000, whatever that number might be, talk to their financial planner. If they don't have one, we'll find one, and put that in what we would call an annuity, which an annuity means that you would put the money into a secured fund and it stays there, and in 10 years' time that equity or that nest egg is still there, but what you've been doing is you've been living on the interest that nest egg is developing.
Yeah, correct. One of the biggest challenges in retirement is the high cost of living. Incomes have remained flat, pensions have remained flat, cost of living is accelerated, and every year Canadian seniors have less and less cash flow. So an annuity is a great style of guaranteed income to create for these folks. And we talked about the debt. The reason most retirees have debt is a cash flow deficiency in the first place. So we can help them by clearing off that cash flow deficiency, clear off the debt so they don't have to worry about that, and so the debt doesn't reoccur. And annuity is a very popular choice, and a lot of wealth managers across the country are really seeing this as a viable option now.
So what you're saying then is a lot of our listeners could be house rich yet cash poor.
Happens all over the place. I see people in $1 million homes really having to not travel, and make really tough choices these days, and they really don't need to do that.
Yes, I've seen that a lot too. I've seen a lot of people in the Vancouver areas of Arbutus and Kitsilano, and they've owned their homes for 40, 50 years, and they don't realize what they're really sitting on, but they want to stay in their homes, and they own their home outright. It is a cash flow problem. Now, what are some of the rules and regulations in regards to the CHIP program?
Well, the CHIP program and Home Equity Bank is a Schedule I bank in Canada. So it does mean we're regulated by the Canadian bank regulators, which gives the clients a lot of safety in Canada. So we're under all the bank regulation. Every one of our clients, we meet with one of our folks, maybe a financial advisor, definitely somebody like Bill Macklem, a mortgage broker. We go through the program. We involve the children in the discussion if they want to be involved in that part. And everybody who does this must take our contract to their lawyer to make sure that they understand precisely what it is and what they're getting themselves into. So there's a lot of safety built in for these folks.
You also talk to the family too, like the sons and daughters. Is that correct?
Yeah, many times the parents want the children to be part of that discussion.
Yeah,
so definitely. It's nice to have a second pair of ears there.
It is, and without a doubt, we invite anybody that the seniors want to have part of the discussion. We invite them to be part of it. Could be a financial advisor, could be an accountant, could be their family lawyer, the children. Wide open process. Whoever wants to discuss it, very transparent and safe.
Colin, let's suppose that somebody comes to see you, you work out a situation, you give them some money, and then all of a sudden, a week later, they win the lottery. Can they pay back what they borrowed from you without penalty, or how does that work?
Yeah, a big misnomer about our program. A lot of people think that they're signing the title of their home over to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. In fact, it's just a mortgage. So in that example, they win the lottery. They just simply call us up and ask us how much do we owe on the mortgage, and they pay us back.
Nice.
Wide open whenever they want.
Or if they don't win the lottery, they can pay you back when they sell the home or whatever.
Generally. Yeah, a lot of people, our program's a bit of a long-term proposition, so it is for people who really love their home, love their neighborhood, and just want to stay in that home and retire on their terms. Most people, when they do it, they like to renovate the house, get it exactly the way they want. As everyone's aware, the cost of labor and renovation doesn't get cheaper every year. So most people take the program out, renovate the house, create the income stream, and stay there for as long as they choose. And then when it is time to move, the house is just really too large for them. They simply sell the house and pay us off.
All right, now Colin, Sherry has a question for you. But first of all, if anybody wants to go to the website, it's chip.ca, www.chip.ca.
Correct, or locally, feel free to call our local office. We have a local office in Langley.
Good.
Feel free to call us at 604-484-6021. Happy to have a discussion anytime.
All right, that's 604-484-6021.
You bet.
Now, one of the things that's been happening over the last many years is that we are living longer and we're healthier. So I'm really glad to hear.
Sorry.
Speak for yourself, Tom. And so I'm really glad to hear that you do have, you involve financial planners and people like Bill to kind of plan what you're going to need if you live to this age, because I've seen a lot of seniors and some of these seniors, it's kind of sad they're running out of money, and that's a very, very scary prospect.
Well, in the past, when the life expectancy in Canada was, maybe 75, people really didn't have to really think about using the home. Now, financial planners are projecting people to live into their 90s, and we really have to carry that money for a lot longer. So really, the home is becoming part of the retirement plan in every example. And what's a little unique about our program, we are the only lender in the country that guarantees they can stay in that home for as long as they choose, as long as they just pay their taxes and take care of it and keep it insured. Nothing we can do. They never have to requalify for this program if their circumstances change. A lot of safety for them.
When I was growing up, Colin, my dad used to tell me the government's not going to take care of you. Boy, when you get old, the government will not take care of you. So this is actually a way to take care of yourself then.
Without a doubt, and, like Bill was talking about, there's a lot of people who really have done the right things. They've saved, they worked hard, and they invested. And right now, with the cost of living, the investments are depleting much more quickly than they anticipated. That's why financial planners are using us, making the investments really carry it a lot longer, and projecting that life expectancy into the 90s, making people comfortable doing that.
Now, if anybody wants to come and sit down and maybe have a cup of coffee with you and chat about the possibilities here, your telephone number again, 604-484-6021, right?
That's correct, and I have 4 wonderful representatives within the Vancouver area who are absolute product experts who are just happy to discuss it any time.
Fantastic. Again, 604-484-6021. Gentleman we're speaking to this morning is Colin Johnson. He is the Regional Vice President for Western Canada for Home Equity Bank. And Colin, listen, I want to thank you very much. We tried to get you on for a Christmas party, but you're off partying somewhere else, so that's okay. We'll get you back on the show real soon. How's that?
Wish I was partying, just working. We had a record year last year, helped out more Canadians than ever before.
Good.
And just, delighted with what we do. We really do change lives and really empower seniors. So
well, you make it a lot easier for a lot of our seniors, let me tell you.
We sure do, and we love what we do.
Colin, thank you. We love talking to you, and we'll do it again real soon.
Everybody have a great day. Thanks so much.
Thanks for being there.
Thanks, Colin.
Colin Johnson, Regional VP for Western Canada for the Home Equity Bank. Nice guy. Great project, too.
Great project. I mean, we just did some numbers here, and, if you took $200,000 or $300,000 out of your home, now don't forget, you don't have to make a mortgage payment, so therefore there's basically no cost of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you invested into a 5 or 7% return investment, MIC fund, Mortgage Investment Corporation, you're going to get like $1,750, $1,800 a month.
Nice. So
if you need a top up or some assistance with living your life on a regular basis and your pensions aren't paying off as much, here's a way to get some extra cash into your living costs so that you can continue living the style you want to live until such time you decide to move.
It's Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy, CL 650, and it's time now to hear from Patricia LaPena of Legal Shield. This morning, she is going to chat to us about wills and estate planning. Do you have her on the line? Yeah, we do. Great, thank you. Here's Patricia. Good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, everyone. Today, I wanted to talk a bit about wills and estate planning. I think most of you would agree that getting your wills, your power of attorney, and your living wills done is important. But, surprisingly, according to statistics, 8 out of 10 Canadians do not have an up-to-date will, if they have one at all. And maybe it's because it's an uncomfortable subject to talk about, but I'm sure the expense is a factor as well. In the last 2 years, the Wills Acts have changed. Areas around family law, the power of attorney, and now actually in BC, the living will has been replaced with a representation agreement, which is a lot more lengthy and legally binding. The 3 components of these legal documents: 1, the will. Deciding in writing how your estate will be divided is exceptionally important. People with blended families, stepchildren, your decisions are a little bit different than the traditional family, shall we say. And, deciding where your children go if something happens to you is so, so important. Power of attorney. Who do you trust to speak and act on behalf of your money? I'm the power of attorney for my mother, and I do all of her banking. I pay her bills. I deal with her investments, her income tax. And sometimes I have to prove that I'm her power of attorney in order to do those transactions for her. Perhaps some of you are in that boat in your lifetime now, too. So it's really important, and I'm so glad that she has her documents and ducks in a row, shall we say. The representation agreement, just like a power of attorney, you need to assign a trusted person to deal with your medical issues. What if you are not able to take care of yourself anymore? Doctors need approval on surgeries, prescriptions, medical treatments. So who do you trust to speak on your behalf? If you're a homeowner or plan to be a homeowner, having a will in place ensures protection on your valuable assets and your estate. I just want to let you know that I cringe when I hear someone has purchased a will kit. They're very generic and simply, I believe, inadequate. Having legal consultation throughout the process of preparing your wills is key. And I just want to say Legal Shield is a great solution because we offer a comprehensive will with experienced lawyers' guidance, and this comes complimentary with our family plan, which is only $26 a month. Huge value there. Thanks so much, Sue Warner, my colleague. Next week on the show is going to talk a little bit about identity theft, which is a huge issue in the world today. This is Patricia LaPena from Legal Shield for Radio Real Estate.
For more information, visit Legal Shield at 247legal.net. That's 247legal.net.
Thank you very much, Sherry. In the next segment of our program, Mark Perry, our radio real estate voice in the Valley, will talk to us from the Chilliwack Home Outdoor and Leisure Show, which is on this weekend at Heritage Park. And he'll also bring us up to date on Eaglewood Courtyard.
Englewood Courtyard.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Eaglewood Courtyard. Englewood Courtyard, yeah.
And we'll hear how to avoid contractor horror stories with Mark from EA Renovations. And I'll be talking about the good neighbors and bad celebrity neighbors on my Celebrity Real Estate Gossip Report.
Did the people who live next door to Bill Macklem call you or something? Or?
They actually, I think it was your neighbor.
Oh, okay. Moving right along here, it's Tom Lucas with our co-host Sherry Brown of RE/MAX Performance Realty. Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer is Dwayne Bishop, and you're listening to Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy, CIL 650.
Hi, I'm Colin Johnston, VP at Home Equity Bank. As the provider of the Chip Home Income Plan, we are the leading provider of reverse mortgages in Canada. Many Canadian seniors are not comfortable accepting financial help from their adult children, but if you're concerned about your parents' finances or feel like they could enjoy their retirement with more tax-free cash flow, you can help them access money they already have using CHIP. Your parents never have to make payments, they never lose control of their home, and they'll never be forced to move or sell. For more information about the Chip Home Income Plan from Home Equity Bank, call 604-484-6021, chip.ca.
Looking for a new place and your busy work schedule has you booked up? Take the stress out of renting with Hollyburn Properties full-service rental professionals. We're here to help every step of the way. From your initial search to relaxing in your very own condo-style rental apartment, our on-site resident managers will make you feel right at home. Be a part of our family. For current rental availabilities, call 604-878-8888 or visit us at hollyburn.com.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. As a successful broker-owner, I have developed a team of mortgage professionals that support me and my clients. If you're confused with all the mortgage chatter of do's and don'ts, my mortgage team is ready to answer your questions to determine the best mortgage for you. Call 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663 for more information.
CIL 650.
This is the Radio Real Estate Show. If you're listening to us live on air, it's CIL 650, smooth and easy. If you want to listen to us on the pewter, what do?
You go to RadioRealEstateShow.ca and you can look at our website. On our front page of our website, you can also like us on Facebook. We now have 155 likes.
No.
We do.
Wow.
And you could tweet us and follow us on Twitter.
And if you want to tweet us, how do you find us on Twitter? It's Radio Realty. What?
Oh, sorry.
Radio Realty 650.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you just send us a message.
Radio Realty 650.
That's pretty cool.
That is us.
All right. It's 10:32. That's the time, and it's time now for our renovation segment on the show this morning with Mark from EA Renovations. If he's standing by, Mark, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I hope everyone has enjoyed the bit of sunny weather that we've had. Today we're talking about choosing the right contractor and how to avoid your own contractor horror story. Like the weather, if you choose the right contractor, you can go through your renovation process with the sun shining down on you. There may be the odd small cloud passing through, but pick the wrong contractor and it will be like a storm cloud hanging over your head. You'll be nervously waiting for the lightning to strike. There are a few things that you can do to help you make the right decision. First, do your research. You'll start with an online search like most people do. Look for someone with a professional site, but don't base any decisions solely on a flashy site. Once you've found a few contractors, check them out. When you're online searching the Google, as my wife likes to call it, look for posts about the potential contractors. If someone has had a bad experience with one of them, they'll usually post it somewhere. Also search the Better Business Bureau. Another great site is homestars.com. It's a site where you can search contractors and read reviews, good and bad. Second, put pen to paper and figure out exactly what you want. Go shopping and find materials that you like. Most of us are not interior designers, but you can at least get a good idea of what you want and how much things will cost. Most decent contractors can help you fine-tune things or direct you to a good designer if you need more help. Check out house.com. It's a great source for design ideas. The long and short of it is you want to make as many selections before you start so that you can avoid further extras down the road. Lastly, trust your instincts. If you meet someone and it doesn't feel right, then move along. If you meet someone that you click with and they check out online all right, then you're likely to have a pleasant renovation experience. Good luck and happy hunting. Listen next week when I talk about mortgage helpers. This is Mark Bioski for Radio Real Estate.
EA Renovations makes the process smooth and easy. For more information, call Mark at 604-825-0789. That's 604-825-0789. Or online at eareno.com. That's eareno.com.
It's Radio Real Estate. 10:34 is the time. Thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate your company. Mark Perry, our voice of the Valley, is on location. He's on the line from the Chilliwack Home Outdoor and Leisure Show. It's on this weekend at Heritage Park out there in Chilliwack. Let's say good morning to Mark.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Sherry.
This is certainly a busy week for you.
It's a rainy weekend out here in Chilliwack, and got an exhibit at the Chilliwack Home and Leisure Show today. The gates are open, and it's bustling here. So with the rain, we'll hopefully bring out a lot of people to come and see the exhibits.
Now, the show started yesterday. How's the attendance been?
You know what? Last night I was very surprised. There was lots of people here. 250 exhibitors within the show. So there's a whole variety of different exhibitors from real estate through, even my friend Randy Bishop with his Bishop's Leisure Center for patio furniture.
I understand Brian Minter, we all know Brian, he's going to be there as well today.
Chilliwack's Brian Minter is going to be here, I think, at 1 o'clock doing a speech on gardening in small patio areas. So that's a direct relation to Inglewood Courtyard and our large decks that we've got.
A couple of our listeners went out to see you there last weekend. Tell us about Inglewood Courtyard. What are you putting together out there in case people don't know?
You bet. Well, Inglewood Courtyard is an adult lifestyle community, building our first platinum building, 40 units. We're over 50% sold now because we've sold 2. Our sales manager, Tracy Loist, has sold 2 this month, and everything's looking great.
Tell folks how to find you.
Easiest way, Tom, is to come out on Lickman Road, take the Lickman Road southbound, and come directly south until you get to Keith Wilson Road. Take a left on Keith Wilson Road and drive to the very, very end where the retirement community right at the very end of Keith Wilson Road.
Now, this past week, you had sort of a brush with nature.
We had a little brush with wildlife and nature. An interesting story, Tom. We had a guest that came in a little too hard, flew onto the second floor, got himself a bit woozy. So it was a male barred owl crashed into the window, and we called the appropriate people. They were actually owl in Delta, and it's a bird of prey society to help injured birds. The volunteers, Joanne and Andrea, came out, picked up the male barred owl, and named it Inglewood. So it's in doing a little R&R at the Owl Society in Delta. And apparently, when it's flying and ready to get back out there in the wildlife world, it'll be released from Inglewood Courtyard. So that's pretty exciting stuff.
That's a great story.
It's a fantastic story, isn't it? Hey?
Great story. Now, you're on location till what time today at the big show?
My sales team is here. It's started a little while back. I think the show goes until 9. I'll be in and out. Tracy Loist, the sales manager at Inglewood Courtyard, has got tickets 2 for 1. So drop by, grab some tickets, and have a look at our community, and then head on to the home show.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. You enjoy yourself this weekend, and you and I will chat again on the show next week.
Thanks, folks. This is Mark Perry, the voice of the Valley, on the Radio Real Estate Show.
For more information on Inglewood Courtyard in Chilliwack, call Mark at 778-240-8513. That's 778-240-8513. Or go to inglewoodcourtyard.ca.
10:37 on the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy CIL 650. I've been waiting for this all week. Sherry Brown and celebrity real estate gossip. And you said there's good neighbors or bad neighbors, huh?
Well, yes, and I know you two are local celebrities here, and I haven't heard if you're a good neighbor or a bad neighbor.
I'm vouching for Tom. He's a good neighbor.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
But despite the hustle and bustle of city life, few New Yorkers made the list of America's best and worst celebrity neighbors. Now, topping the best celebrity neighbors, Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon was crowned most desirable neighbor for the 2nd year in a row.
Way to go.
Taylor Swift managed to make both good and bad lists, taking home 3% of the negative vote. Swift also claimed 7% of the positive votes. So
kind of good girl, bad girl thing,
that's
huh?
right.
Uh-huh.
Now, she was joined in the thumbs down call-in by Gwyneth Paltrow, who got 2% of the vote for the worst celebrity neighbor.
What was she doing?
I don't know.
Everything.
But I have to tell you, a Canadian tops the chart for worst celebrity neighbor, and it's Justin Bieber.
No!
What a surprise.
He topped the list for worst neighbors for the year, earning the highest percentage of votes in the survey's history.
Jeez.
Okay, so that's too bad.
How high was the number? Do you know?
It was pretty high.
Like
it was
probably
pretty high.
92%.
And I know last year's worst neighbor winners were Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, and they came in second this year with 22% of the votes. So a couple of the best neighbors: Jimmy Fallon, Miranda Lambert and Blake Shelton, Taylor Swift, Matthew McConaughey, and George Clooney. And some of the worst neighbors that I will not sell you a house beside these people: Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, Miley Cyrus, and Donald Trump.
Really?
That's right. And that's your celebrity real estate gossip today.
And if you like more celebrity real estate gossip online, go to our website, RadioRealEstateShow.ca, and just click on the icon and you can get all the dirt you want.
Ooh.
Glad our names weren't on there. Hey, in the next segment of the program, we'll be hearing from Dan Sander and Katrina May of Hollyburn Properties. They're going to be talking to us about the trends in Vancouver. Plus, we'll hear about a great rental opportunity at the Noraline in the South Granville area.
And we'll hear from Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. This morning, Bill continues a series on money for seniors.
I wonder if it's a series or another rent coming up. Only time will tell. 20 minutes before 11 o'clock on the Radio Real Estate Show. Good morning. It's Tom Lucas with our co-host Sherry Brown of RE/MAX Performance Realty. Bill Macklem, president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer, as usual, is Dwayne Bishop, and you're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house. It's Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy, Sea Isle 650.
Hi, I'm Colin Johnston, VP at Home Equity Bank. As the provider of the Chip Home Income Plan, we are the leading provider of reverse mortgages in Canada. I frequently hear from seniors in this area who are shocked by how much their home's value has increased over the years. If your home value has appreciated, a reverse mortgage can be a smart way to access some of that equity and put it to good use. You can access up to 50% of your home's value while maintaining ownership and never be forced to move or sell. For more information about the Chip Home Income Plan from Home Equity Bank, call 604-484-6021, chip.ca.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Most people need advice on mortgage financing. We provide personal financial advice with no vested interest and at no cost. We're compensated by the lenders. We'll review your current financial situation to determine if you are ready to purchase. If not, we'll help develop a plan to put home ownership in your future. For more information, call 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Vancouver weather.
Rain today, in fact.
Oh, what a surprise.
Lots of rain today. Hey, Noah, be quiet. Lots of rain today, and the expected high is not that good. It's not that bad either. It's pretty moderate. It's about 11 degrees.
Tomorrow's looking a little better, mainly cloudy with a 30% chance of drizzle in the morning. And on Monday, it's a 40% chance of showers with a high of 9.
All right, we just had Noah in his arc. What's the present temperature now that you've pulled over safely?
It's 11 degrees.
11 degrees on the Radio Real Estate Show.
Radio Real Estate weather is presented by Legal Shield. 8 out of 10 Canadians do not have an up-to-date will. Wills and estates planning doesn't have to be a daunting or expensive task. This could be your last love letter to your family. Are they protected? For more information about Legal Shield, visit 247legal.net.
CL 650. I can put you in the condo.
Now, if condos are your way of living, we've got that part of the show covered too, right?
Absolutely. We actually have a client that is moving from North Vancouver
down
into the White Rock area, and they're renting a condo down there. And I believe they use Katrina May.
Really?
I believe
that's very interesting. Well, now let's talk about the rental accommodation segment of the market out there. Dan Sander and Katrina May are here from Hollyburn Properties. Hey, Katrina, hello there.
Thank you, Tom. I've got Dan Sander from Hollyburn Properties. Dan, if you could please tell the people tuning in today a little bit about Hollyburn and what it is that you do.
Hollyburn is a rental company, and we've been around Vancouver for 40 years. We're also in Calgary, we're in Toronto, and we're in Ottawa, and we provide rental accommodation, condo quality rental accommodation. In Vancouver, we're on the west side, we're on the west end, and we're in the North Shore. And we have about 50 communities in Vancouver, and we really focus on high quality rentals. We have excellent customer service, and our rentals are very affordable when you consider the cost of ownership these days.
Dan, what are the benefits of renting in today's market?
You know, that's a great question. We're full, so there's definitely a demand for rentals in Vancouver, and the number one benefit is cost. Downtown, a 2-bedroom's half the cost to rent than it is to own. A 1-bedroom is considerably less, up to 40% less to rent than it is to own. It gives you the flexibility. You're not locked into a mortgage. You're not paying all these additional costs, whether it's strata fees, property taxes, mortgage fees, special assessments. We look after the properties. We look after the appliances. There's no maintenance. It's really a hassle-free way of enjoying Vancouver, living in Vancouver, enjoying all the great things about Vancouver without being locked in and without all the additional costs.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can argue that Vancouver is one of the best lifestyles in the world and a world-class city. So why would a renter choose Hollyburn over anyone else on the market today?
First of all, we've been around for 40 years, so we have the experience. We know what people are looking for. We've solved pretty much every problem over those 40 years. We have a BBB rating of A+ for the past 11 years, so we really look after our folks. We also also have partnerships with a lot of community groups such as Covenant House and different schools in our areas. And really, the proof is in the pudding. If you go to our website and look at our buildings, you'll see testimonials from people that are actually living in the building right now, telling you about their experience living in the building. So we really look after our folks, and we provide the best service in the industry.
If you're looking out there, definitely check out the Hollyburn website, hollyburn.com, to see what they have on offer. Let's talk a little bit about the housing trends in Vancouver over the last year. One of the reasons many people rent is related to the fact that housing costs in Vancouver are extremely high. Can you expand on this a little bit and talk about what the trends have been in the last year?
That's a great point, and you see it every day in the paper. There's always articles on housing and the cost of housing. For the last 10 years, Vancouver's ranked in the top 10 places in the world to live in terms of livability, safety, environment, all these key factors that people love. But at the same time, it is quite unaffordable. If you factor income into the prices, only Hong Kong is more expensive than Vancouver. So from a pricing perspective, a lot of folks are choosing rental. They can afford to buy, but they're saying, we prefer to test the waters in Vancouver, to have the flexibility we just spoke about, and to rent. So with housing prices 10 times the median income, you're seeing a lot of people choosing to rent, which is great.
What are some of the benchmark prices right now for a property in Vancouver?
What you're seeing is single-family market in Vancouver, that's the west side and the east side, is over $1 million today. When you factor in condos and you factor in all of Metro Vancouver, the average price now is closer to $700,000. And there was a report from RBC recently that indicated in Vancouver, based on average income and average pricing, it would take 80% of the average income just to be able to afford a single-family home. So these prices are quite high. They continue to go up, primarily in the single-family market, and it's really just making renting much more attractive.
Absolutely. So some people believe that home ownership is the only path to financial success. It's clear that in current market conditions, there are other options, such as renting. So what can renters expect to save on throughout the year as opposed to homeowners?
The savings are considerable. I mentioned before that CMHC did a study last year where the average cost for owning a two-bedroom downtown was double the cost of renting. So you're going to be saving about half the costs renting a two-bedroom downtown than you are owning. And really, the savings are in the mortgage fees, the maintenance, the property taxes, the strata fees, all the special assessments. And keep in mind, Stats Canada just released a study saying the average homeowner spends close to $60,000 a year on expenses versus the average renter spending close to $30,000 a year on expenses. At every measure, it's significantly less expensive to rent than it is to own.
Thank you for all of that information, Dan. That's definitely a compelling story right there, and there are some beautiful rental properties in Vancouver. This week we have the Noraline. It's a beautiful, cute little building located at 1676 West 10th Avenue in the South Granville area in Vancouver. We have 1 bedrooms available for rent from $1,200, and those are available for February 1st. The suites are 600 square feet. They feature wood floors, laminate countertops, and the heat and hot water is included. The building itself is a quiet and peaceful 2-story walk-up building. There's 24-hour laundry facilities, storage lockers on site, surface parking, free Wi-Fi in all common areas, as well as the excellent service and maintenance provided by our professional resident managers. And the location is on a quiet, tree-lined street in the heart of trendy South Granville. It's 1 block from Starbucks and West Broadway cafes, 1 block to Granville Street boutiques, restaurants, and galleries, very close to transit, as well as near Granville Island and Kitts Beach. It's a beautiful suite. If you're interested in the Noraline, please visit the website at hollyburn.com.
This is Katrina May with Dan Sander for Radio Real Estate.
To learn more about Hollyburn Properties or to get information about one of their great rental accommodations, call 604-662-7345. That's 604-662-7345, or visit hollyburn.com.
Now, that's what they're saying to you, Bill. Don't be a hero.
No.
No. You do great work for people. People need mortgages. People need advice for financial situations. They come and see you. You take care of them. You're in Surrey, and Sherry, you were saying that Surrey is probably one of the smartest places in the world to be from these days.
Actually, I was quite thrilled today in a paper. Surrey, BC is named one of the world's top 7 intelligent places in the world.
All right.
And it's the smallest community of all the ones that they're competing with.
Yeah.
That's right.
To show you that they are a leader.
So much for the Surrey jokes, folks.
No kidding.
Those were the 1970s. Those days are over with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
So if you're from Surrey, just know that you're living in one of the 7 most intelligent places in the world.
Don't you live near Mortgage Hill somewhere in Surrey?
Mortgage Heights.
Mortgage Heights. Yeah, Mortgage Heights.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 10:49 on the Radio Real Estate Show. Earlier in the program, Bill, we were, as you know, because you were here, I think. You're speaking, we were all speaking with Colin Johnston from Home Equity Bank.
Yes, we were.
Talking about the CHIPS program. So that's a way for seniors to get some more money.
It actually is. It's probably one of the best programs for people that don't have any income or any large incomes, let's say. You know, we all get pensions, we all get OAS, we get CPP, we might have some pension from a municipal fund or from a teacher if you're a teacher or a municipal employee. You get some pensions or, you know, or private industry as well. But what happens is that sometimes you just don't have enough money to stay where you are, but where you are is the best place to stay. So I had some clients that used to live in Kitsilano, and he was a doctor and she was a nurse, and they were retired, and they decided they want to move into the South Surrey White Rock area. So they bought a place down there, but they realized that even though they sold their house in Ketts and moved into that area, they still didn't have enough cash from the sale to maintain their lifestyle because their income stream was such that they weren't allowed to live to it. So I said to them, well, let's figure out a way to do that. So what we did is we did we looked at the reverse mortgage, but they were too young. I mean, I don't say that's one of the problems with the CHIP program. That's one of the parameters of the CHIP program. You have to be a certain age, and as you get older, you're allowed to get more money. I mean, it's obviously based on an insurance curve, and the older you are, the less, you know, obviously we don't have the less chance of living a long time. So therefore, they're able to allow the money, and because the money is compounding on a monthly basis, they want to make sure that when you pass away, or you're at that point where you've now got to move from where you are into assisted living or someplace, something like that, that there's enough equity in the home for you to give to your kids and to move on. They want to make sure of that. So they're really diligent. Like that's one thing with the CHIP program that never used to be and now is part of their mandate. That they want to make sure that when they do a mortgage on your home, that there's going to be some equity left at the end of the day to pass on to your children, as opposed to, gee, too bad, the debt that we put on the program 20 years ago is now eating up all the equity in your home, and so we're just going to take your title.
So a reverse mortgage then is nothing really to be too fearful of?
Not at all. It used to be an 8.5% compounding monthly interest rate on that draw mortgage, or that's what you want to call it, or the reverse mortgage. And today it's a much lesser rate, and it's compounded semi-annual, just like other Canadian mortgages are. So it's a much better program, and it's aimed to help people. And so you want to know that they are looking at that curve. So as we get further and further up that curve, they allow us to have more and more equity taken out of our house. But if you're 55 and you're going to live to be 90, they don't want to give you all the money out of the house because it is going to get eaten up.
And I have to tell you, my parents were very excited when you told them they were just too young.
Exactly.
They haven't been told that in a long time. So
yeah, well, I know their kids, so I know how it is.
So your mom was quite thrilled when Bill said to them that, ma'am, you're a little too young to have Sherry Brown as your daughter?
Yeah, I think my dad got a little jealous at first.
Really?
Because he told my mother first she was too young. And, well, you know, he just got, it's all good now. You're good in my dad's books now.
I think that's the same thing your father said to your dad. Your grandfather said to your dad, you're too young, leave my daughter alone.
Exactly.
That's right. Cool. But that's really great that there are options for older seniors.
And it's multifaceted. Like, it's not just, oh, let's take the money out of the house and pay off the existing debts. Let's take the money out of the house and do something different. What this is that this program allows you to pay off the debts, maybe get some equity out of the house to do something interesting with, and have some cash to do the renovations that Tom was talking about earlier, to fix up the kitchen or the living room or the garage.
I'm just wondering, is there more to talk about? Maybe next week can we do this a little more?
Absolutely. Yeah, there is so much to talk about.
Subject.
I hate to tell you.
Okay.
You can always get expert mortgage information online by visiting BillyMac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, MAC.com, or by calling Bill at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
In the next segment of the Radio Real Estate Show, our home handyman Finn Jensen says that January is starting off with a big bang.
This is Sherry Brown of RE/MAX Performance Realty with Bill Macklin, president of Dominion Macklin Mortgages, our producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate on Smooth and Easy CIL 650.
Hi, I'm Colin Johnston, VP at Home Equity Bank. As the provider of the CHIP Home Income Plan, we are the leading provider of reverse mortgages in Canada. Over the past 30 years, we've helped thousands of Canadians access home equity in their homes without giving up ownership or having to move or sell. An increasing number of people are using home equity to upgrade their lifestyle and make the most of retirement. Our new Income Advantage Plan is specifically designed for those seniors looking to enhance their lifestyle throughout retirement. For more information about the Chip Home Income Plan from Home Equity Bank, call 604-484-6021, chip.ca.
Home prices are out of control in Vancouver. Hi, it's Mark with EA Renovations Limited. Let us turn your basement or laneway into a beautiful new mortgage helper. Fully licensed and insured, we do what it takes to ensure you're completely satisfied. And we make your renovation as painless as possible along the way. Call 604-825-0789 today or visit earenos.com to arrange your free in-home estimate.
CL 650.
This old house is getting shaky, boys. This old house is getting old. This old house flips in the rain now, and this house flips in the cold.
10:55 on the Radio Real Estate Show on Smooth and Easy, CL 650, and time now for Finn Jensen. By the way, Finn is the most popular name for little baby boys that are being born in 2015. Finn, out of all the names, is the most popular.
You know why?
No, I don't.
Because he's the Canuck mascot.
Finn?
Yes.
Is that why?
Yeah, like it's a Vancouver Canucks mascot. Finn, you see him on TV all the time.
Well, Finn Jensen is standing by right now. And Finn, good morning.
Good morning, Tom, and good morning, everyone. There's no denying this month is off with a bang. Things are heating up, fog and cold notwithstanding. Here in BC, we have the good fortune of peace and quiet. If our luck holds, we will continue that course. Some of our friends and family around the world have not been so fortunate. We wish them success in their efforts to secure their peace. It is an undisputed fact that our peace and good governance is the most important ingredient in the heap of progress we have enjoyed to the benefit of all citizens, regardless of station. When we pitch in to help, BC's fortunes will continue to rise. The future will not be denied. We will build, expand, and improve all areas of the economy to the best of our ability so that all who dream will have equal opportunity to fulfill that dream. Building BC is what we do best. Whether it's constructing a new home or a factory, it is for the future of everyone's investments and rewards. This is Finn Jensen for Radio Real Estate. Talk to you next week.
If you have any plumbing or heating work to be done this winter, call Finn Jensen, not Finn the Canuck. What is that?
See, you got yourself in trouble again, didn't you?
Call Gentech Mechanical Installations at 778-378-2740. That's 778-378-2740.
And that will teach you never, ever, ever to mess with Finn again.
I was thinking of mascot.
I know, but this is Finn Jensen.
This is Finn.
Yes, from Gentech Mechanical Installations.
And he's a great guy.
He's a nice guy. He'll drink tea. He'll come over to your house, so you haven't got to buy him a beer.
And he knows his stuff.
He do, and that's very important because Bill is kind of like me. We know nothing when it comes to the house, and that's kind of the way we like it too.
Absolutely.
Some people do not understand that, Bill.
I know.
No.
I would much rather know about mortgages.
Yes, absolutely. We know how to buy the house. How to maintain the home is a different thing.
Is it supposed to maintain it?
Apparently so. So it's 10:57 on the Radio Real Estate Show. Sherry Brown, of course, is with us each and every Saturday morning, and we always like to talk to Sherry about some of her listings and open houses, and you have one after you get out of here today, right?
I have a beautiful listing right now with my partner, Laura, and it is at 350 174th Street in Surrey, near Pacific Douglas. It's unit number 64. This is an over 50 complex right near the golf courses there. It's called The Greens. It's $646,000. It's 2 bedrooms, 3 baths. It's over 2,100 square feet. This is an absolutely gorgeous townhome. And it's a premier community, so it's close to everything. You're close to border access, you're close to Surrey, and it is one of the most intelligent places in the world. Mm-hmm. So we are doing an open house there. You can definitely come see Laura. Tomorrow we'll be there. Sunday, January 25th, between 2 and 4. The rain will be subsiding tomorrow. If you want to go see Laura tomorrow at The Greens, it will be between 2 and 4. And if you want to see all the pictures, you can go to my website. And the pictures are absolutely gorgeous on this unit.
The Greens, are those the ones down by the down by the border?
Yes.
Those are nice places.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And it's no kids unless the grandkids are visiting. So it's over 50 complex. Nice, quiet. You're like I say, it's just absolutely beautiful. So there is an open house there tomorrow. Stunning price of $646,000.
An adult community, and like Sherry just said, the grandkids could show up, get them sort of buzzed on sugar, then send them home to mom and dad, right, Bill?
Absolutely.
That's right. So if you want to see
Sugar and
those, if you want to see those photos online, you can go to sherrybrown.ca. That's SHERI Brown.ca. Or you can call me on my cell and I'll tell you more about the open house at 604-970-6789. That's 604-970-6789.
Our house in the middle of our street.
It's amazing how they just come in and sing that song right at the right time, Abby.
I don't know. You know what? And they have such great tone.
And they do it the same each and every week, and I am so proud of them.
They're talented.
Now, next week on the show, you're going to be here?
I'll be here.
You're going to be here?
I'll be here.
Dwayne, you'll be here? It's a big anniversary. It's our 450th show.
Wow.
Next Saturday, yes. 450 weeks in a row.
Wow.
Without a day off. Now, I'm only speaking on my behalf here because you guys, you go all over the world. That's a different story. But we'll have a little party next week. What do you think?
I think we should.
I think we should, too.
It should be a blast.
So I know that you're out of here to go and see some clients.
Yeah, we've got 3 clients this afternoon to see. They're all important clients, so that's really good. And they're like using us, which is always a blessing.
And the good thing about Bill Macklem is you're portable. You'll go. You're mobile.
I use the motto, have mortgage, will travel.
I see. It's a great motto. And Sherry, of course, you've got that wonderful open house down at the Greens.
I do, and I believe I have a market evaluation later today.
Oh, for goodness sake. Well, that's it for the Radio Real Estate Show. Dwayne, thank you for being here. Dr. Zokol is standing by, and he's got some dirt on Dr. Bobby Birdie for you, too. So we'll get to the crux to the matter. That's a medical expression. We'll get to the crux to the matter in just a few minutes. Radio Real Estate's back on the radio again next Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. It's Tom Lucas for everybody on the show saying thank you, bye.